Don't Rico, just Pentax.
Oh, that's gonna be a long road trip.
I wanna Rico all night and Pentax every day. Come on, Chris, join me. I wanna Rico all night.
Welcome back, DPReview TV viewers. Chris Nichols here, and we're very excited because it is Pentax week. Now, I know a lot of you out there think that we hate Pentax, we don't talk about Pentax, we try to ignore them, and we love Pentax products. But the fact is, as a company, they just don't release a lot of new products. However, we do have a very cool lens to look at today. Pentax has released one of their professional Star 2.8 ultra-wide lenses, the 11-18 2.8. We're gonna look at that today. So, join us today, join us this week for Pentax Week. Now, for physical dimensions, the Pentax 11-18 2.8, it's a fairly heavy lens, but this is a Star lens and it's a very rugged professional body. So 82mm filter thread, of course, on the front there for ultra wide like this. Weighs about 700 grams, about a third of a noct on there. And, overall, I do like the feel of the construction. Zoom ring's nice and damp, and it's actually got a fairly long throw as wide angle lenses go. I do especially like this clamp function on the side. Even if you're manually focusing for landscape or astrophotography, if I click that, it disables any sort of additional focusing changes. And that can be really nice when you're trying to mess around in the dark with filters and hoods and you don't want to knock and adjust your manual focus setting that you've so carefully chosen. Now, the weather today for our little travel log is pretty flat as far as photographic lighting goes, but luckily only a light snow. We don't have any freezing rain or anything, but that being said, Pentax professional gear like this 11-18 is just some of the most rugged and well-sealed equipment I've ever used photographically. I have full confidence that the K70 and this lens could survive a lot of serious abuse. In past Pentax videos, we've chucked stuff right in the river. I'm not going to do it today because it's super cold and I don't want to get wet, but yeah, very rugged, and I know I can rely on it. Someone beat us here with the tripod. It's going to be in my shot. Well played, whoever you are. Now, Pentax have in the past often rebranded other formulas from Tamron or Tokina, for example. We were half expecting to see the 11-16 Tokina 2.8 or 11-20 Tokina 2.8, but instead here we have a brand new formula and quite a complex one. 11-18 2.8 made original for Pentax, and this really does complete the holy trinity, as it were, finally, for a Pentax APS-C camera. I'm using a K70 today. It is a high-resolution sensor as far as Pentax APS-C cameras go, and yeah, you now have 2.8 lenses throughout the whole professional classic range. This is 100% original. My tripod's even sitting in the same holes as somebody else's tripod. Ooh, can't go wrong. I will say, for an ultra wide angle lens, the lens is very quiet focusing and very quick focusing, actually. It seems to have a pretty good motor in there. Not that for ultra wides that's a huge thing, but it is quiet. This lens focuses to about 0.2 meters. Even if I'm at 18, trying to get my tightest shot possible, it's average at best. It's not amazing close focusing lens, but in a pinch, you could certainly get some shots.
Pentax, what is it good for? Doing astrophotography. Why?
No,
Pentax.
You need to stop. You're not doing this the whole way. I'm driving your car. I will crash it to make you stop. Thank you.
All right, it's day 2, welcome back, and today we're going to explore the lovely little town of Kimberley, BC. Now, it's supposed to have a very heavy Germanic influence to the architecture, so we're going to explore this lovely little mountain town and get some more samples. Pentax coatings are very good. I'm not really seeing any major flare issues to worry about with this lens. We did do a quick Sunstar test here as well, shooting at f16. The Sunstars are okay. They're not great. We're not really getting nice, precise points. They kind of bleed out quite a bit. Nothing amazing. So Jordan and I are out here skiing with the families, but we thought we'd come and check out Kimberley's other big attraction, which is the world's largest cuckoo clock. That's amazing. Just take a few seconds to just absorb that. So, you know, playing with the Pentax 11-18 here, I mean, chromatic aberration, you can see it in some of these samples. It's there, but it's easy to fix. Distortion's actually really not that bad considering how wide this lens. I was quite impressed there, so that's also very easy to fix. And we did a Loca test here as well. I know they're not the most exciting photos, but it's a good way to see what rendition of chromatic fringe you're going to get in out of focus areas. So here, look both in front of our focus point and in behind, and you can see it's actually very clean. Doing a really good job. So where my main issue with this lens resides is just overall resolution. I mean, it's sharp enough in the center. It doesn't blow me away, but it's fine. But when you get to the corners, if you look here, wide open, certainly it's going to be soft. We would expect that. But even stop down, the corners just always have a bit of blur to them. They never quite sharpen up. And no matter what I do, I just cannot get those corners to be sharp. Stop down, still a little bit of blur. So I don't see what you could do with that in post. No, we're not doing crying. That was last year. So you love yoga. You're a big yoga guy. You're going to do yoga poses, okay? This is for January. Something that suits the vertical nature of this shot. Look like you know what you're doing. So all in all, the Pentax 11-18 is a well-built lens. It feels very rugged, it's beautiful to look at, and it's easy to carry around. My only main concern is, again, some of those resolution issues. It's just not the sharpest lens out there in the ultra-wide angle. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a Pentax APS-C user, you just don't have a lot of options. Now, a lot of you out there will probably be using the Pentax 12-24 or the Sigma 10-20. Those are fantastic ultra-wide options for Pentax APS-C. They're just not wide aperture options. And you know, you think about lenses like the Tokina 11-16 or 11-20, those are great, but they just never made them for Pentax K-mount. In fact, unfortunately, a lot of the third-party manufacturers abandoned the Pentax K-mount a few years ago. So if you're looking for a fast option in an ultra-wide APS-C for Pentax, this is the lens you're looking at, and hopefully you found the review that we did today useful to explain some of the features and quirks of this lens. It is a bit expensive, but that's to be expected. This is a pro-grade lens, especially in its build quality, and frankly, everybody's lenses nowadays are getting expensive regardless of brand. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, we have another Pentax video coming out as well here shortly for Pentax Week. Let us know if you have any comments below or on DPReview.com. Don't forget, please check out our Instagram and Twitter feeds and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys soon.